Always been a fan of these Audi A8 alloy wheels. This Audi A8 looked like an oversized A4. This is the car that changed the Audi image. Hello everyone, over here is the Audi A8. The Audi A8 is one of the most interesting vehicles in the premium segment, and I'm going to tell you all in a moment how and why. This particular Audi A8 is a facelifted version, guys. Now, there's some things you need to know about the Audi A8. When it came to the limousine segment, so the likes of the Mercedes S-Class or the likes of the BMW 7 Series, the Audi A8 was actually the last one to join the group of limousines. Now, the thing to note is that Mercedes was born from limousines and trucks. BMW was born from small cars. Audi, they kind of expanded thanks to the help of the Volkswagen group. The Mercedes S-Class is the most legendary out of the three. The Mercedes S-Class is always, well, they've been building limousines since the very beginning, even before the World War eras, guys. The BMW 7 Series specializes in driving pleasure, I'd say. To the topic of the Audi A8, I would say the Audi A8, they kind of specialized in technology. This is how I always perceived Audi. They were always the most technical. This Audi A8 costs 153,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? You see, guys, when talking about the premium segment, it is not easy to talk about value for money. It's something we just do not cover. However, we all have expectations nonetheless, guys. And now over here is the key of the Audi A8, everyone. Now it should be noted that Audi has developed an obsession for simple keys, key fobs. So they're like rather small, but they're cool at the same time. Whereas I noticed BMW has gone all digital with their key, and Mercedes kind of did something different with their key. But Audi maintains the small key fob. Quite interesting. Because this is a facelifted version Audi A8, we see prominent changes at the front, guys. First of all, the grille looks very interesting. Impressive headlights, guys, but I'm under the impression they've kind of made it look like an A4. Like, look at this. The difference is that this headlight has the bodyworks intruding in like this, which makes it, it looks like a reference to the Audi A4. Now, this can be questionable, guys. I've always been a fan of these Audi A8 alloy wheels, guys. 5-spoke alloys, which are split always in the middle. Very nice, guys. Now, the thing I feel about these alloys is that they might be part of the facelift, because I vividly remember previously the alloys were all sharp-edged and everything, whereas Audi went rather more round-edged with this alloy. Or it might be the same alloy as the pre-facelift version. Rear design is also very interesting, guys. I think the rear lights have also seen massive changes. Now you see the lights more prominently, whereas before it had a different design to them, guys. Very interesting how Audi has gone about their LED rear lights. Now, the continuous red light at the rear, this is something really interesting, and it all started with the A8. And then BMW got inspired to do this with their 7 Series, and Mercedes eventually joined in, but only with the chrome trim at the rear. Now, the thing to note is that there's a good chance this may have been from Porsche, because in the Volkswagen group, I've noticed that each of the brands have a tendency to come up with something new, and then eventually that new aspect, whether it's a design or a technology, it always gets shared across the group. So when Volkswagen comes up with something, eventually everyone in the Volkswagen group gets it. When Porsche comes up with something, eventually, slowly but surely, everyone gets it. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like out of the Mercedes S-Class and the BMW 7 Series, the Audi A8 has a rather sportback style to it. You even get a 360-degree parking camera. All 4 doors get keyless entry, everyone. Check this out, guys. Soft close. I love the way Audi has done the handles, guys. Something simple, no pop-out handles like what other competitors have done. Just conventional, covered in chrome on the side, and the body paint right here in the middle. Easy to open. No fake exhaust underneath, guys. This is really good. Now, whilst exploring the exterior of this Audi A8, it was amazing, guys. It was really interesting to look at, and the facelift is promising. But I also noticed some prominent problems. The first problem I'd like to talk about, guys, is the front. Those headlights look promising, but they just make me think of an oversized Audi A4. It makes this Audi A8 look like an oversized A4, if you know what I'm saying, guys. They made the front look like other Audi models. And then another thing I'd like to point out, guys, is the plastic over here that has no purpose whatsoever. This is something, yeah, I don't get it. But then something even more problematic is right here, guys. The grille looks gorgeous and everything, but why do we get to see this material very easily? Like if you look through the grille, you get to see these materials easily. For a price of 153,000 euros, this is not very reassuring, guys. I don't know what is it about Volkswagen Group cars, but they seem to have a thing with their bonnets being a bit oversized or something. Or perhaps this could be for pedestrian safety. The Audi A8 has a bonnet that's not very well aligned with the rest of the bodywork, if you look carefully, guys. Like if you look at it from this angle, you'll notice the bonnet is a bit over. It's like almost overlapping the bodywork. The exciting part, guys, the interior of the Audi A8. This is really interesting. So, the Audi A8 interior is very cool. In fact, it was the first Audi model to have this concept of a double touchscreen and abandon the concept of a swivel wheel. Now, I did not like this concept. I really hated the fact that the swivel wheel was gone. But then on the other hand, there were benefits. Concept of having two touchscreens is cool. It's far better than what everyone has done with having a massive tablet in the middle to control everything. I don't really agree with what Mercedes has done with their EQ classes and with the S-Class especially. But then Mercedes does have a plan and it's still good nonetheless, guys. But what Audi has done with this interior suits Audi's theme, and I love it. Now, this is an interesting gear knob, guys. Audi has stuck to this concept, and I believe this concept was also introduced in certain e-tron models. Nice gear knob. And the parking brake right here, guys. Start-stop button right here. Now, Audi loves putting their start-stop button right here compared to what other car manufacturers do. They put it right there. Cup holders right here, everyone, with the 12-volt socket in there. Then you get central console storage, guys, which is a bit shallow, but it does have a USB point in there. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but when sitting in this Audi A8, compared to Mercedes and BMW, it feels very humble. There's something a bit too humble about it. You know what I'm saying? This is not the kind of car where you would expect something in your face, or so to say. The point is, when sitting behind the steering wheel, if you look at the bonnet is just plain and round edge. Electric seating adjustments, guys, with lumbar support, and your seating memory buttons are right here. Heated ring mirrors, and your mirror adjustments are right here with your window buttons. Now, one thing I have to remark about Audi A8 doors is that they were always humble. They always had this straight line, guys. The window controls were always in this manner. I recall the same thing about the previous generation Audi A8. Always in this manner. Now, the remarkable difference between this particular generation and the last generation is that there's practically no button. Audi completely changed its image starting with this Audi A8. In fact, this is the car that changed the Audi image. What I'm talking about, guys, the bonnet is really humble. There's something a bit too humble about it, you know what I'm saying? So like when driving behind the wheel of this Audi A8, it's not very like, it's not a really exciting interior, if you know what I'm saying. It's not really something as exciting as the S-Class or the BMW 7 series. Now, Audi pairs very well with Alcantara. Audi and Alcantara, they go very well together. Then you get leather right here. Oh, and you get a little storage space right here. That's really pleasant, guys. A nice handle right here. You get a panoramic sunroof, guys. Same philosophy as the other Volkswagen Group cars. They love having 3 stokes, guys. They always have a separate stoke right here dedicated to your cruise control. Whilst exploring the interior of this Audi A8, I also noticed some problems, guys. The first problem I would like to talk about is the steering wheel. I feel like the steering wheel is a little bit too firm. And because usually for this price and segment, you'd expect something pleasant, something squidgy. I can respect Audi has gone all stylish and everything. The absence of practicality solution is normal. You would have expectations nonetheless, guys. I mean, I feel like there are plenty of empty spaces that could have had utility or something. Like, for example, look at this wonderful bit of piano black trim. one of these could have been used to open, all right? Like maybe for extra storage or something. Here or perhaps above. I feel like out of other German competitors, Audi has the least detailed window controls. Like this whole area is plastic for some reason. And the window controls are just, yeah, I mean, it's nice to touch. It's metallic, but it's almost as if Audi did it as an afterthought. You know? Ease of entrance, guys. It's so spacious because this is the long wheelbase. You get a lot of leg room. Now, because this is the long wheelbase, you get a lot of leg room, a lot of knee room. In fact, the knee room is kilometers long. Seats of the Audi A8, guys, it's really Audi-ish, guys. There's something really nice, and Audi has not changed. I like that. Audi has always kept a trim right here, and I remember this very well with the last generation. Knee room, leg room, kilometers long, guys. Unquestionable. Headrest. I feel like compared to the Mercedes S-Class, the headrest is a bit on the firm side. Here is your armrest, guys. You get electric seating adjustments right on it. Wow. It's really nice. And I believe this would be your climate control. Quite interesting. And when you don't need it, you can fold it up and it goes back up by itself. Quite nice. And you can fit a third person here apparently. Although I wonder what sort of legs the third person would have, because look at this. You get quite an elevation right there. Anyways, over here is your 12-volt socket and a 230-volt socket. Air conditioning. Now over here you get back seat pockets, guys. Now the back seat pocket in this entire rear is plastic. Not something you'd expect on a car of 153,000 euros, but at least your knees can't reach it, so that. And you also get some storage space right here. Wireless telephone recharge with USB points right there, guys. Oh, and a little storage space for your pen if needed. Now, apparently the rear seats also get seating memory, which is awesome. This is the first time I see seating memory for rear seats too. Oh, this place can fit a big water bottle. Additional storage space right here, guys. I like the material it's lined with. And then right here you get mirrors, believe it or not. That's right. Ta-da! Now, why would you need mirrors in the back? Quite nice. I mean, it's good to have a mirror there, but there's no tray or anything. To check out the boot space of the Audi A8, guys, the exciting part. So, deep, guys, it's quite nice. There's a lot of room and everything. Stellar points right here, and I like the quality of it. The Audi A8 has a trailer hitch hook, by the way, which can be foldable. Now, I don't see any 12-volt socket anywhere, guys. Is this something really to question or not? You all be the judge, but me personally, for a limousine, why would you ever need a 12-volt socket in the boot space? So here's my conclusion of the Audi A8, everyone. I have to say that the Audi A8 is one of the most logic limousines currently available in the automotive industry, guys. You see, despite it being all revolutionary in certain senses, it seems as though Audi has maintained a lot of logic, and it goes to a point where it kind of comes across as boring, if you know what I'm saying, guys. Like, you see, when you look at the Mercedes S-Class, there is a form of excitement. You see history. It's like going to a castle that's full of history, a modernized castle. When you see a BMW 7 Series, you think of a gym with state-of-the-art training equipment, you know, running machines, cycling machines, guys. Whereas when you see this Audi A8, it's hard to tell what I really think of it. It's like the first thing that comes to my mind is office building. I can't really think of much else, guys, because there's a lot of logic within the design. It's a bit too plain. Like when sitting behind the wheel, you don't really feel like you command the road. You don't really feel like you command respect or anything. For a price of 153,000 euros, is this Audi A8 good value for money or not? You know what, guys? I think this Audi A8 is great value for money. It's not the best, but I think it's one of the greatest. Now, when talking about the premium segment, it is not always easy to discuss about value for money or price. But in the case of this Audi A8, there's a lot of interesting aspects about it, and I think it is built for utility. However, it did create a new problem. The new problem it did create, guys, is that it's become too humble, too humble that not everyone can appreciate it for what it is. And Mercedes made that same mistake with some of their EQ class models. Would you like my humble opinion of this Audi A8? I love this Audi A8, everyone. This Audi A8 has always been my favorite. In fact, I'm going to make a confession to all of you. I was never a fan of the Audi R8. I always loved the A8. The A8 is a very promising Audi model, and it is the model that changed the Audi image in the late 2010s, guys, along with the e-tron models. I think this Audi A8 is excellent for professional purpose, guys. But if we're talking about government purpose or ownership by a big company, this is where the Audi A8 will shine. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, everyone. And I have a question to ask you all. Which of the three limousines do you prefer? Do you prefer the Audi A8? Do you prefer the Mercedes S-Class? Or do you prefer the 7 Series, the BMW 7 Series? Let me know in the comments what you all think of the limousines.